The differences between the North and the South. The South was a largely rural place with few people in like small spaces, whereas the North was more densely populated. The South had warmer weather, whereas the North, though it's not written here, had the colder weather because we're farther away from the equator. The North had more Republicans, whereas the South had more Democrats, and I'm pretty sure this is correct because I'm not positive at this moment. But they just have a really long and annoying feud that I find absolutely futile and just smack them upside the head with a pancake. The South believed in slaves, whereas the North was like, no slaves, it is wrong to own people, which I agree with. But granted, I was raised in the North. This has been over for like a century. The South wanted to be their own country because they also thought that no one was paying attention to them. Because whenever they said, hey, we want to we want to own slaves, the North was like, no, you're not allowed. No, shut up, you tiny humans. So then the South got very angry and threatened to become its own country, separated from the United States. And the North then started to realize, we're in a bad place. The South had their farming land, and their land was better to farm cotton than the North was because they had a longer growing season because their weather was warmer. And their climate permitted them to grow cotton, which they needed slaves to pick the cotton for because they were prissy people. Because they were like, we're not going to get our hands dirty. And the North was like, oh, shut up, we chop logs. The similarities between the North and the South aren't really that interesting, and I'm just not going to tell you them because we just kind of have, like, boring there, and it's just like, whoa! Basically, the North was bullying the South all like, merp, and the South was like, we can do what we want.
Is it like
Basically, there was a few... Shut up, Nick! We are done. Goodbye.